It's a beautiful day in Snortlings Hollow. You could learn a little something which you like to follow. They're pulling you left, but you might want to go right. Let's take a little trip and it could shed some light. If you don't agree with our point of view, you don't have to make a big to-do. Just watch another video. Who's stopping you? We're not trying to tell you what to do. This episode of Adventures in Snortlings Hollow is brought to you by the Snortlings Hollow Raffle Club. Head on over and enter to win some handmade miniatures like the ones in my show. The odds of winning are great. Link in the description below. So, hello my friends. It's me, Mimzi Moon.
And me, Hyper.
And I am the host.
And I am the co-host
of Adventures in Snortlings Hollow, a political and social commentary show from a right-leaning point of view.
Nancy, someone asked me to ask you if this was supposed to be a kids show.
Well, Piper, I am glad you brought that up because people keep asking me the same thing. It seems that the mood and style of my show is confusing to some people. This show is intended for teens and adults. Actually, 80% of my audience is men 24 to 35. It's meant to be a campy parody of a kids show. And I used to try to be more family friendly, and the first 10 episodes are written this way, but I decided to give up on that shit, and now I just say whatever the hell I want. Some people still might not get it or think that it's all too juvenile or that you're in some other way offended by my content. And like I always say, watch another video. Who's stopping you?
Okay, Nancy, you're cool, whatever. Now I got another question for you. Why are you still a conservative? Haven't you had enough people tell you that it's dead and harmful and wrong? Why can't you see the truth? Are you stupid or something? I mean, sorry, but you need to hear this.
Piper, I think there's something that you need to hear. In fact, I have something to say that I want everyone to hear. I know that many, if not most of my subscribers are actually on the left. Y'all have come over here from Shoe on Head's channel or even Jake and Hannah's channel, and maybe you're cringe watching or grudge watching, or heck, maybe you even kind of like me because I seem to be more open and less critical of people I don't agree with than the average conservative YouTuber. Anyway, I spend a lot of time in my comment sections and elsewhere defending my opinions and discussing and sometimes even debating my point of view. I didn't know it would be this way when I started my channel. I expected some hate, but I really thought the majority of my viewers would be on the right and agree with me. But regardless of what I expected or intended, here we are. And I'm one of those people who believes everything happens for the greater good, even if we can't see it that way at the time. So I'm glad my lefty friends are listening today because there's something I want to say, and maybe it'll be of some help to some of you. Conservatives aren't stupid. Well, maybe some are, but we're not conservative just because we're ignorant. We're not conservative just because we have yet to sufficiently be yelled at and shamed by leftists. And we're not conservative because we're full of hate.
Okay, so maybe you're not stupid. You're just uninformed. You haven't learned the truth yet. That's the only explanation I can think of.
Okay, let's talk about the truth. I used to think that there's only one truth. There's the truth, and then there's your opinion. And of course, in many cases, that's right. Like if the question is, did he shoot that guy? Well, either he did or he didn't. That's an absolute truth. But how about, was he justified in shooting that guy? A stranger that broke into his home in the middle of the night? One person might say no. The robber may have been desperate to feed his family and he wasn't armed. The homeowner could have ran. The punishment for robbery shouldn't be death. He valued his property over a human life. But another person might say, hell yes, he was justified. He didn't know if that guy was armed or not. He was defending his family and his home. The robber valued the other guy's possessions more than he valued his own life. And if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So now what's the truth? One position has to be true, right? Conservatives just see the world through a different lens, that's all.
You're just making excuses for your ignorance.
Piper, don't be nasty.
What?
I'm not here to judge you, so why are you judging me? How about we practice tolerance?
Tolerance? This from someone who made a whole show just to talk shit about liberals?
Piper, I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't think that liberals are stupid, like necessarily, or just ignorant of the truth. I used to think that way. I thought anyone who just knew what I knew would change their minds and come over to my side. But I've learned that truth is often subjective. I still kind of cringe when people say the phrase, my truth, but I think I get it. The truth may not always be knowable, or it may be a long time before it's revealed. And sometimes what's true for one person may not be true for another. This is relative truth. And I think, as difficult as it may be, both sides should be humble enough to say that even though we may believe with all of our hearts that we know the truth, we might turn out to be the ones who are wrong.
Well, I'm not wrong.
Of course you're not. Hey Piper, I got a special surprise for you today.
Ugh, Mimzi, a walk down Paisley Lane is not a special surprise.
No, it's not that.
Well, an adventure to Snortlings Hall is not my idea of a special surprise either. Who's that?
Well, let's go find out. So, thank you for coming over today, Milo.
Hi, Milo.
Hi.
Yeah, I looked into all that stuff like you wanted me to.
Great. Well, why don't you tell us all what you found out?
Okay, but it feels kind of awkward. Can I get my own chair?
Sure. How about you actually get your own segment today? You could even name it.
Yeah, okay, I'd be cool with that. See ya later, Milo!
Okay, well, hi, and welcome to Hey, What's Up with Milo. So, I looked around and I found out some interesting stuff. It's actually been scientifically proven that liberals' brains are different from conservative brains. It's called, like, political neuroscience.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? What the hell, Milo? Are you trying to take my spot?
Hey, it's Paisley Lane. If you got a problem with me being here, you gotta take it up with Mimzi. She asked me to be here, bro.
I don't have a problem. Go ahead and do your thing, Milo.
Okay, well, that was weird. Anyway, political neuroscience means that different people have different brain structures. Like conservative brains have a bigger amygdala. This is the part of the brain that's responsible for regulating emotions and evaluating threats, among other things. But liberal brains have a bigger cingulate cortex, which is the part of the brain that's responsible for emotions, processing, learning, and memory. Just looking at someone's brain, you can tell 71% of the time what political side they're going to be on. And if you want to get up to 80% accuracy, just put someone in a stressful situation and give them an MRI to see which part of their brain lights up. So, because of this, conservatives are more interested in security and predictability, and liberals are more interested in nuance and complexity. And even though they both likely want what's best for our country, this explains why conservatives are more protective, resistant to change, and less trusting of the government. And why liberals are more interested in providing and in things like welfare and socialism. And I thought it was interesting when I heard the conservatives and liberals define the word fair in different ways. If you're a conservative, you'll define it as a person should get an amount proportionate to the amount of work they put in. And a liberal will define it as being equal. And it's not just brain differences, but other differences too. Like your culture, and what you were taught in school, and what experiences you've had in your life. And this all put together just like manifests itself into different political ideas. Information comes into our brains and it's processed in different ways. So just because someone has a different brain than you doesn't mean they're inferior to you. Thinking one group of people is superior to another based on immutable characteristics? You don't want to go there, bro. Just because maybe I don't have one part of my brain that's bigger than the other part, you shouldn't judge me either. Hey Mimzi, was that good? Are we done?
Yeah, it was great. You got to do a little ending thing though.
Okay, so I guess Milo signing off.
Hey, that's my ending thing. Bye, friends.
Bye, Milo.
Bye, Milo. He's hot.
But I thought you rejected him in high school. What happened?
He got hot.
Well, I know an independent and empowered woman like you isn't waiting for him to ask you out, so go tell him what's up.
You gotta play the game, Mimzi.
Piper,
What?
why do you think it's so hard for us to see things from the other side's point of view?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's that brain thing. Has it always been like this?
Well, I was really never into politics in the past, but it seems like it's gotten a lot worse. I think that people are getting so angry and intolerant because they're starting to see the other side as a threat to their way of life or even to their life itself. I'm concerned that these irreconcilable differences will end up in a breakup. And I just hope that if it happens, it will be an amicable one and not a war. So do you want to stick around for real talk?
No, I'm gonna go out in the front yard in a short skirt and talk on my phone.
Isn't it a little cold outside for a short skirt?
No, Grandma.
Why I gotta be a grandma? I have a son your age.
Oh, you do?
Don't even think about it.
Later.
Okay, before we do real talk with Mimzi and Captain Winky, I gotta say something real quick. Shoe on Head did another reaction video on me, and again, there was a part in there where I wasn't clear, and it kind of got interpreted to mean like I'm a white nationalist or something. I'm not racist or homophobic or any of that. Geesh. I said that one of the differences between America and the Nordic countries is that they are very homogenous and we are not. And someone interpreted this to mean that I thought we didn't deserve nice things like free health care because we have black and brown people living here. No. All I meant was, and I hope this isn't taken badly too, was that it's easy for them to all be united and socialistic and have this everyone takes care of each other mentality because they're more similar to each other. They're very similar in appearance and culture and background and history and in their needs and the way that they're brought up and taught, you know? This creates a great oneness and a feeling of unity and national pride. And over here, we're a melting pot of all different cultures and races and backgrounds and ideologies. And we're all, unfortunately, very divided these days. We don't even have American pride or a common system of beliefs to unite us anymore. It's going to be much harder for us to agree to all pitch in and care equally for one another. And I hope that made sense. And I hope it didn't make me seem like even more of a jerk. So I'm really sorry to the Nordic people to talk about you like you're a monolith. But I hope that at least it cleared things up. So can someone send this part to Shu? All right. Now, I'm going to announce this month's winner of the Snortlings Hollow Raffle Club. All right, here we go. Now for the winner of my bottom tier prize, which is Captain's Winkies, we have Singing It in the Fields. And I don't have your prize with me right now, but what I want is for you to head over to Patreon and send me a message and tell me what you'd like for me to have printed up for you. I'll put it in a frame and I'll send it right out. So thanks a lot. Now, for my second tier prize, which is Piper's Pixies, we have the winner is Kelsey Dykstra, and she has won this adorable little Snortling in her little Snortling bed. And last month, Kelsey won the cute little Snortling boy with his little Snortling chair, and so she's on her way to winning a whole dollhouse here. Congratulations, Kelsey. And now for our top tier prize. This is Mimzi's Minions, and the winner is Kristen Goslin. And this is what you have won. You'll won yourself an adorable little wingling. When the Snortlings have wings, they're winglings. She's got a little basket house. There's a little miniature bed, a little table with the tea set, and a little kitchen. So cute. So congratulations to Kristen. And I want to thank all of you all so very much for sticking with me and for supporting me through my journey. I appreciate every one of you. So I'd like to show off my next month's top tier prize. I was working on this all day. Got another little wingling resident in here. Isn't she cute? And there's an adorable little house. There's a bed, your table and chairs with a tea set down there, little ladder. I don't know if y'all can see this. I'll post up a picture of it. But so cute. So go ahead and head over to my Patreon, join the Snortlings Hollow Raffle Club, and the odds of winning are great. Come on over. What you waiting for? And again, thank you to all my patrons. And now it's time for Real Talk with Mimzi and Captain Winky. Hey, Captain Winky. Thanks for flying in to do the show with me today. All right, it's time to get real. I do hope that liberals and or leftists are watching me today. And I want to tell you again that I'm not here to recruit or indoctrinate anyone. I only want to facilitate a greater understanding. I don't want to alienate anyone by being insulting. I understand that most lefties simply aren't viewing the world through the same prism that I am. And I don't hate you for that. But if you want to know how I feel, and maybe how a lot of other people on the right feel, whether you think it's stupid or not, then stick around. I don't have a problem with different ideas, but what I do have a problem with is how many liberals believe that anyone who doesn't agree with them are just smooth brains. Even conservative scholars. I mean, really smart and educated people. And so many really cool, thoughtful, and down-to-earth people, like millions and millions of us. We're all just written off as being a bunch of ignorant, racist, fascist homophobes that all need to be re-educated or silenced or worse. But y'all were for tolerance of people's differences and other cultures. And why do we gotta be thought of as so stupid for believing in a way of life that has gotten us as a society this far and served us for so long? Sure, there's some issues with capitalism that need to be worked out, but no other economic system on earth has elevated 1 billion people from poverty. And why we gotta be stupid for not wanting to abandon the great American dream that our forefathers died for? And how can we be blamed for not having faith in an ideology that's been shown time and again to have very bad end results when the stakes are so high and our precious freedom is on the line? I think it's interesting when people on the left tell me that because I'm low income or I come from a background of, well, you know, or because I don't have a college education or health insurance, that I'm working against my own interest. Well, I don't believe in going against my own values out of self-interest. I'm not just willing to accept that other people's poor choices have consequences, but mine as well. People say, I didn't ask to be born. Well, no one asked for me to be born either. I accept the responsibility of my own well-being or lack thereof. Many people leave me comments and suggestions that I just don't understand what liberals or leftists or socialists believe. You know that the left is a huge umbrella under which many different belief systems exist, right? I can't know what every individual believes, but I try, and I think I've got some understanding. And then they suggest that I'm just too simple-minded to understand the truth. And if they could only get through to my sad little brain, that maybe I could be saved. They think it's their job to teach people that they're wrong and that they are right. And those people come off as smug, pretentious, and condescending jerks. And that's not how you win people over. Their tactic is to shame, bully, and cancel people into submission. They say it's not canceling, it's just that these people need to understand that their actions have consequences. Well, sure, that's one of my favorite statements. But in this case, what you're really saying is, if you don't agree with what we tell you to think, then we're going to do everything in our power to destroy you. This isn't a natural consequence or a legal consequence. This is compliance under the threat of personal injury. And our side are the fascists. I don't understand the mindset of someone who would come over to the comments section of someone who simply is expressing an opinion that they don't share and then say nasty things to them just to try to hurt their feelings. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, and I know that I open myself up to criticism by putting myself out there, but I've never felt the desire to do this. But hey, these bullying tactics work. People are afraid to speak their minds because they're not mentally strong enough to face your consequences. Well, it's not going to work on all of us. My beliefs and my right to express them, whether they evolve over time or not, are a hill that I'm willing to die on. Go ahead, Captain Winky, I know you're tired. Okay, Captain Winky had to go catch a plane. So you may say, but why, Mimzi? Why do you believe these things that you do? Can't you see that you're hurting people? Well, no. I don't see things the same way that you do. I think the same things about you. Or, Mimzi, can't you see that you're brainwashed and that you're in a cult? Well, can't you see that you are? Because it's clear to me. But Mimzi, why can't you see that Trump is terrible? And why can't you see that Biden and Pelosi are corrupt? We're looking at the same world through a very different filter. When I hear socialist or SJW woke stuff, it doesn't resonate with me. I have an adverse reaction to it. It doesn't hit my brain in a pleasing way. It doesn't like ring true for me. And those condescending, better than you lefty jerks looking down on me just further confirm my convictions. Think about it like this. I don't like jazz music. Someone might say, you're crazy. How can you not hear how great this is? Here, listen to it again. And then I might listen and say, well, I understand that you like it. I just don't truly understand why myself. I'm sure you can relate to something similar. Remember that Yanni and Laurel thing? I hear Yanni plain as day. And I just can't understand how someone can hear a Laurel. And that dress is clearly white and gold. So why do some people think it's their job to tell other people what to think? To try and convince them that they're wrong? I have no desire to do this or to shame people. Can't we just understand that different people have different brains and different experiences and different cultures, and that we simply want to live our lives following our own values and morals, and that we have different ideas about what it means to live a good life, a life with meaning. I want all Americans, and all people really, to live the life that they want to live. If half the country wants to take their chances with limited government and a free market and being more responsible for their own successes and failures and be all about the bootstraps, then they should be allowed to live their lives this way. And if half the country wants to try for a socialist utopia and they think they've got it all figured out this time, then they should be able to have the chance as well. I want everyone to be able to follow their dreams, but I think we're too far away from each other to reach a peaceful compromise. So what are we going to do? I don't want conflict or war. Now, I know I'm talking crazy here, and this is something that I have literally done zero research on. But what are y'all's views on secession? Are you for? against? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. So, did you notice that there was no adventure in Snortlings Hollow today? Yeah, I cheaped out, alright? Those are hard. But don't worry, next episode we'll meet adorable little April May, otherwise known as Hat on Foot. Haven't written anything yet, so what do y'all think she might have to say? If anyone wants to write a little fan fiction, I'll be sure to give you a shout out. So, if you like what I'm doing, please buy my books from the Adventures in Snortlings Hollow series. Join my Snortlings Hollow Raffle Club, where you can win handmade miniatures and dollhouses. And head over to the Snortlings Hollow merch shop for a great Captain Winky or a Mimzi and Piper t-shirt or one of my other great designs. And don't forget to like, sub, share, and hit notifications. And now, for the reason you watched this show all the way through, the goodbye song. Goodbye, farewell to you, my friends, until which time we meet again. We've talked about a lot of stuff, like being fair and being tough. Be brave and see what you'll achieve if you stand by what you believe. Bye, friends.